This is normally the way green-growing vines come from the nursery. So this is the root stock, and it was grafted with a one-bud scion right here and allowed to grow in a greenhouse for a period of time. And generally these vines are available sometime in the first part of June through July from the nursery with your order. They're in these 6-inch or 8-inch pots. And there's a vast root system in here. And these holes here in comparison are very large holes for this plant. They're more than 1.5 feet in diameter because we want to make sure that we have a lot of loose soil in there. The other thing is pre-watering. We pre-watered about 2 days prior to planting, so the soil is moist, not saturated, moist. So the guys will be taking the vines out of these tubes, and usually they have a little plunger. And you can see the root system is around here. A lot of new roots growing through this profile in the media that the stock is put into it, and there's a lot of roots. When you get these young vines, you want to kind of spread out the roots at the bottom and put it in the hole, so that way you don't get that cone of roots, but you try to encourage those roots to reach out. And you still want to maintain about 4 fingers above the soil profile for that graft union. The graft union again being right here, about 4 fingers soil level. And the reason is you do not want to encourage scion roots. You're paying for rootstock. You don't need scion roots. We get a lot of inquiries about the Micromax product and where to get it. And here in Napa Valley, we actually get it through Wilbur Ellis Company. And I've had inquiries from back east in Virginia and Texas and a lot of places. But again, I usually refer those people to Wilbur Ellis in St. Helena. And what the Micromax is basically just, we call them tea bags. And it's just in a little tea bag that goes in the bottom of the planting hole. And we just put in 1 per vine. And you can see here on the label that if you have small plants, 1 bag, 1 gallon plants, 1 bag, etc., 5 gallons, 3 bags, and bigger plants, obviously more bags and spread around the hole. I feel that it's a cheap investment to get a little mycorrhiza around those roots and help them in the initial startup. And as we're planting, they just get thrown in the bottom of the hole or somewhere around the root system with the vine. So there's 500 in a box that come in individual bags like such as this, which is 100. Again, it's the Micromax, Mycorrhiza, and JB is the company. We already have our spaghetti tube here, so when we're done planting, we'll turn that water on and make sure they got a good drink for the day and every couple of days thereafter. As the vines get older, this tube will eventually go away so we can encourage the roots further away. After the vines are in the ground, the crew will come back and put a 20-inch milk carton around them to protect them from rabbits and other vermins. And to make sure they're secure, we just use the little twistums for now and put a little bit of dirt around the base of the carton to keep it fairly warm. 2 things that are very important with these young vines is that they're delicate as a green transplant, but you never want to plant them in the carton because even though there's holes on the bottom and the roots could come out, eventually this vine will become girdled. And the second thing is when they come from the nursery, you want to remove any of these kind of tags. So again, as that vine grows, it doesn't get girdled by a plastic tag that was forgotten somewhere in the system. So generally, you want to make sure that these plant tags come off as well that identify what those vines are. You can see these trays hold about 25 vines each, and that's the other key, that you got to make sure you have a few extras because not all vines will survive for one reason or another. And it's important to have extras for immediate replanting if something doesn't happen right.